Hi, this is Todd Geis with Geis Interactive, and this video is just a quick look at what modules look like when they're inside of a file, sort of how they're described. And this follows the spec on the documentation at modularfilemaker.org. I just wanted to show what it looks like after a module is installed and how it all fits in the real world. So actually, we don't need the script debugger. Let's get script maker up here. So let's first start at the very top. So I've typically been deploying my modules this way, and actually my solutions this way as well, where I have two folders at the top level. One is the first one is a folder which has the code that is the subject of the file itself or the solution. And the second one is a folder that has all of my shareable portable modules in it. And this is what we lay down in the spec, is that a file that's using modularfilemaker.org modules should have a folder called modules at the top level, and inside that folder it should contain a folder for each module installed within the system. So we can see in this file we have two, hyperlist and master detail. And that's because this file is the master detail file that we use to deploy the master detail module, and it has a dependency on hyperlist, so we have to include that here as well. But let's take a look at master detail. So the spec says that the first script you should see is a README, and the README should have all the basic information that a user of your module should need to know to install your module or get help or find some kind of documentation on the web. In this one here, I've included some installation steps. I've included the dependencies, and that's a really good idea to list out exactly what dependencies are required. And this one, other than the dependencies that are installed by the installation, it really only deals with hyperlist. It's only one it needs is hyperlist. The only other module. It needs no custom functions or nothing like that. I also am shipping all of my modules that are free with the MIT license, and I include that here. So that's the README. We also think it's a great idea to do testing if you can. And this script here tests for common errors in installation for this module. And if I run it, it tells me that all the tests have passed. So that gives the user some assurance that the module was installed correctly. Now, the reality is that it's pretty tough to test for everything, but you want to try to include as much as you can in this in these tests if you can to get things tested. So just to demonstrate that, I'm going to break this module by simply changing the relationship to an equals. Here, let me bring that up here so you can see it. So I'm going to change that relationship to equals instead of the greater than or equal to that it was. And now I'm going to run that test, and I'm actually going to get an error that says the relationship was missing or not configured properly. And then it even tells me what that relationship should be, which is rather nice. So I can go back in and fix that. But if I had put that in incorrectly, then that script would tell me exactly what was wrong. Now, we also include some tests. Another really good practice in module building is to really error trap the code. So if for some reason the user does something wrong, and let's say that they don't have this master detail object here, so I'm just going to fake that it's gone by removing its name, and it tells me right away that we can't find the name of the primary ID. The primary ID should be on the layout and should have a layout object name of master detail primary ID. So again, it's telling me what's wrong. It's telling me that I didn't have this field that was pasted in set up correctly, and I can correct that. So testing is really, really important, and we include that both as a test and then also throughout our code to make sure that if anything is missing, we can tell the user what it is. So then we have three main folders, up to three main folders inside of each module. You have configuration and settings, and this is the only folder that the user of your module gets to edit. And any scripts in this folder, this is the only one that the user would want to edit any scripts in here. In this case, I really don't have any. This module doesn't need any configuration or setup, but it does in scripts. But it does tell me where that where to go look and how to set it up, and refers me back to the README for how to configure the module. Then we have a public folder, and these are scripts that get called, so that these are the hooks into the module. But the users don't edit these. They only edit scripts that are in configuration settings, but they get to use scripts that are in public. And the final one is private, and of course users don't ever call stuff that's in private. And this is where you, as the module developer, get to put all your code that should be hidden away and not called by the users. So that's it. That's what a module looks like inside of a FileMaker solution. And we'll have some more videos later getting into some more details about how you can test your modules and make sure that they're installed correctly. There'll also be a video that talks specifically about each of these two modules, Hyperlist and Master Detail, in the very near future. Thanks very much. Bye-bye.